Chapter 7. The Gift. The lifeboat was waiting to go down. It looked tiny as it swung on the cables at the side of this big ship. The water below looked black. Get in, a uniformed man shouted. No, no, said William. He hid his face against Lucy's coat. Lucy was shaking her head. I'd rather stay here, she said to Jack and Annie. Jack understood. The brightly lit Titanic seemed so solid and safe compared to the little lifeboat. You can't stay here, said Annie. The Titanic is going to sink soon. Very soon, said Jack. Lucy kept shaking her head. Jack saw tears in her eyes. Lucy, we're telling you the truth, said Jack. You and William are in great danger. You have to be brave now, said Annie, for your brother's sake. Lucy straightened up and tried to smile. All right, she said, I will. This way, a man called. Women and children, this way. You four. He pointed at them. Get in, said Jack. He gently pushed Lucy and William forward. Goodbye, Lucy, said Annie. Goodbye, William. Lucy looked surprised. You're not coming, she said. No, we're going home another way, said Annie. Oh, dear, said Lucy. I hope you'll be safe. We will, don't worry, said Jack. Wait, said Lucy. She reached into her coat pocket and pulled out a silver watch on a chain. This is a gift for both of you, she said. It's our father's watch. We carried it on the voyage for good luck. I have a feeling that the two of you were our good luck tonight. Jack looked at the watch as Lucy put it around Annie's neck. The time on the watch was 1:50. There was only 30 minutes left. Hurry, hurry, he said. Jack and Annie watched as the big man picked Lucy up and swung her into a little boat. Then he picked up William and put him in Lucy's lap. Bye, cried Annie. She stepped forward to blow a kiss. Just then, a man picked up Annie. No, cried Annie. Into the lifeboat, my dear, the man said. He tossed Annie into the lifeboat. No, no, cried Jack. Then the man reached for him, too, and Jack jumped away just in time. Annie, he yelled, get out! Annie tried to climb up the lifeboat. Let me out, she cried. Arf, arf, Teddy barked from over Jack's shoulder. The lifeboat jerked. It started creaking down to the dark, cold sea. Come back, Jack called, but there was nothing he could do as Annie disappeared from sight. Oh, no. They always seem to find trouble. They're very good at it. Chapter 8. Every Man for Himself. Annie, cried Jack. Let me out, he heard Annie shout, but the lifeboat kept going down. Wait for me, came a loud voice. Wait for me. A woman in a fur coat appeared at the railing. She nearly threw herself over the side of the ship. Stop, the uniformed man called, bringing the boat back up for Lady Belackwell. Slowly, the lifeboat was brought back up. Jack pushed his way forward. The lifeboat came even with the ship. Jack reached out for Annie. She grabbed his hands. He pulled her back onto the sinking ship. Room for one more, Annie shouted to the Lady Blackwell. Then she and Jack took off before anyone could catch them. They ran up the slanting deck. Annie stopped and peered over the railing. Jack looked too. They saw Lucy and William's little lifeboat creaking down towards the Atlantic Ocean. It reached the glassy black water. Then it floated off into the darkness. Annie waved. Bye, William. Bye, Lucy, she shouted. Thank you for your gift. She held up the watch and it hung from her neck. Then she and Jack looked at it, and the time was 2:05. Only 15 minutes left, said Annie. We have to get back to the treehouse now, said Jack. Let's climb the stairs to the smokestacks. Suddenly, the front of the ship dipped down into the sea. Deck chairs started to slide past Jack and Annie. The band played a slow, calm song. It sounded like a church hymn, but the crowd started to panic. People pushed and shouted, trying to get to a safer part of the ship. It's every man for himself, the captain shouted to all the crew. The men all stopped what they were doing and ran up the deck. Jack and Annie ran too. They were dodging sliding tables and chairs. Imagine it like a giant slide that you're trying to climb up, but there's hundreds of people and things falling back at you. This is not easy. Then they reached the stairs that led to the smokestacks. They grabbed the railing and pulled themselves up the steps. The ship tilted further. Get to the smokestacks, cried Jack. They slipped and crawled down the deck. But when they got to the smokestacks, Jack and Annie looked up widely. The Magic Treehouse was gone. And that's the end of chapter 8, so we'll be right back with chapter 9. I'm kind of glad I'm reading this all at once because I definitely want to know what happens.